I happen to know what it means to come from a humble background. I went to Canada for my 7 years for it's a UPE school. I remember when I was in Amuru, I saw young girls under the tree studying, and it reminded me of a 7-year-old me who was standing under the tree. I remember my very first time to put on shoes, I was coming to Ajuman. I used to be an athlete. And that is what made me love Northern Uganda, because at least for once my mother bought me shoes, because she knew I was going to be a visitor somewhere. And with all that humble background, I went to Masakase, where I attained my school, other education at A-level, and then from there I went to A-level, our SS. Throughout my school, I've always been a leader. I went to Makerere Business School for my bachelor's in procurement and supply chain. All that left aside, what brings me here is not what I've studied. And it's not where I come from. What brings me here is what is hurting my fellow young people. When you look at my poster, my slogan is a centered agenda. I traversed the whole country throughout my consultations, and I realized that what hurts the young people, the 30 million of this country, is not anything that is regional, because if it's unemployment, it hurts the percentage in Northern Uganda, a percentage in Western, a percentage in Eastern, and a percentage in Central. It does not spare that this is a team, this is Kamwine, this is Semaganda. It does not spare. If it's unemployment, it hurts us all. If it is education, the same way I've told you, up to now, the same primary I went to, I remember I went back for my documents. It has no single computer. People still cannot speak nice English. So even the windows are not there in the infrastructures. So that means that the education system is still poor, the same way it is in Amdat, the same way it is in Kapchora. And the same way, many other things that are hurting the youth of this country. It does not spare where you come from. It does not spare which tribe. That's what forced me to have an agenda that is centered for us all. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, a mother or not. So when you see a centered agenda, that means I am here to fight, to advocate, to champion a voice for what matters for us all. As long as the young person, how do we go through all this? How do we achieve better employment ways? How do we achieve national service policies that really also favor us? How do we achieve better education systems? Do we have to transform from just a normal education into technical and vocational? How do we allocate it for all the regions? So when you see me here, yes, I'm in Amuru. But when I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters in Amuru, the same way I'm speaking for the brothers and sisters for the whole country. Because you being here from Amuru, the following day I meet you somewhere and you're the Indi, you're going to help a small girl from Kabong, from Mitiana, from anywhere. So I come carrying a package for the centered agenda. So Diana is a very simple girl. When I was traversing throughout the country, I realized that we have very many problems. But as Diana, I said, I'm not a person like they told you who promises a lot. Because I know what it means to love. I know what it means someone to give you an empty promise. So when I come here, don't expect me to politic a lot. I'm not going to promise and be like, I'm going to come and build a school in Amuru. I'm going to make sure all the girls receive all the pads they need. You will never see all these things. I'm going to stop teenage pregnancy there, and then I'll make sure everyone has a job in every sub-county. But as a position of a national female youth MP, the best thing I can do, apart from advocating and being a voice for at a national level for the youth, the best thing I can do in my position is to lobby for my fellow young people. And I put it at heart, and I say it with all that I am, that one thing I'm going to focus on in my 5 years in Parliament is at least strengthening and empowering the youth structures that are there. Because right now, we all know We have different bodies. You are under Youth League. I know some of you here are going to enter NYC, National Youth Council. I know some of you have previously been under UNSA. So we thank the government that these structures have been put there. They are supposed to be channels, at least to spread anything, any resource, any knowledge up to the grassroots. But are they active? When you look at the NYC Act 2003, you see that it was amended that at least every district should have a secretariat. Every district, an active functional secretariat. But was it implemented? It was never. So that's going to be my one thing to fight for, because if I have this secretariat and I advocate for a vote for a budget of at least NYC, Youth League, UNSA, I know this thing can come straight to every district because there is an eye for a young person. I keep telling people, we thank the government for all these programs. There's a 30% PDM, there is a yoga, there is Youth Life. But you know why we haven't felt it as young people? Yet the government, they feel like they are releasing these things we should be grateful. Yes, we are. But why we feel like we are not fully impacted? Because when this package comes to Amuru, it does not go through the youth leaders of Amuru. It will have to go through a member of parliament, another DC, a cow. Yet the people, the young people of the district entrusted you people to be the ones to look over all these things. How will I come as a national female youth MP to follow up through a regional MP of what happened in Amuru, when in actual sense, the resources of the young people of Amuru, they were not put in the hands of the young people of Amuru. So to me, I feel like if we have this secretariat, it's so easy for us to follow up, it's so easy for us to account for it, it's so easy for us to implement. When I come here, I'm campaigning, but when I come here and I know I sent 100 million in Amuru to help at least start up something for the young people in Amuru, I will change face. But I can only change face if I'm approaching my brother. It will be hard to go to another DC or someone else and I tell them where is our money or where is this. It's so easy to deal with a young person because only him, only you understands the young people in your sub-county and what hurts them and what do you want to invest in. So my main focus is going to be at least having that secretariat, and on top of that, at least I will advocate for a vote for all these structures through Ministry of Finance. For every structure to have its own small budget. It doesn't have to be big, but also for you people to follow up on these implementations. There has to be facilitations. I've seen very many of you have motorbikes. But how do you follow up on these things when you're not facilitated? Also, you will focus on your family. So my other thing is going to be focusing on at least having a vote or a budget for these structures. Then after having that vote, you realize that we are 30 million plus. That is 78% of this country. But we don't even have our own ministry. You look at us, we are very many. I've always asked people, why are you putting us? Why are you putting us under a educating Ministry of Gender? We are many. We contribute to all the leadership, everything that happens in this country. We decide. If we woke up and we are like, we are not voting, no one will go through. Elderly, women, what? It's upon us. So if we are not prioritized, it will be hard for gender and labor to prioritize youth when we are just advocate. Yes, we have a budget there, but it's not prioritized. We are not priority. We are not number one. And we all know in this life, even you, my brother, if I don't prioritize you, you won't feel like there's nothing that will happen. If it's with your relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, the girl you prioritize and call every day is the one that comes through. Even a boy who checks on you every day, it's the attachment that you get. So even us, as young people, if we are not prioritized, even if we have a minister for youth, he will have nothing to do. Even as the youth member of parliament, where will I go? I go to Ministry of Gender and being aligned because I'm a member of parliament. They'll just say we have something small for it. But at least if we have our own ministry, I know there is a minister, and these member of parliament can go there, we can easily follow up on what belongs to us. So that's one other thing that I'm going to focus on. Then when you look at these structures, the other day I was at the secretariat and I met some lady who is a mobilizer. I remember arguing with her. I told her, you people love Mzee. We love this man. Personally, I'm a born of 97. All I've known is this man. I don't have a father. I didn't go through good schools, but at least I had the peace, I had a meal, I could freely move with my mother to the garden and we dig minus anything. I don't know what it means to hide and fight. So I wouldn't want to go through that. So I told them, if you love this man and probably you want to support him, the main people you would have used are the young people. We have the youth league structures. Why do we need other mobilizers from Zay when you're here? You're the right vessels. Only you can carry 10,000 youth from your village and your sub-county than even any chairperson out there. So I was telling them we should have empowered these young people. They don't just go through and you abandon them. So, me as Diana put it on me. Going through as a National Female Youth MP, you're going to be my bridge. You're going to be my stepping stone. And my mother kept telling me that in growing that never, ever break the bridge that has brought you to where you're headed. Even if it's one hand, even if it's an old woman, even if it's just a lift you found on the road. Appreciate that road. To me, you people being the bridge, when you look at the 30 million of this country, only 4,000 delegates are going to lead to Parliament. And in this case, I have 5 years in Parliament. I want to imagine out of these 4,000, not everyone wants a job. Some actually have some jobs. They just want upgrading in their education. Some have studied, but they want a job. Some even just need skills. They don't have the education. They don't even need that job. All they need is to be skilled for them to start some. They have some money. Some people have land, they have cows, they have where to start from, but they don't know what to do exactly. So to me, I'm like, how do I empower, at least for starters, the people that are pushing me to Parliament, the 4,000 delegates? And count it on me. I don't make promises, but this is going to be my priority. I am going to make sure, good enough my brother Wilfred is recording, I'm going to make sure, come rain, come sunshine, I advocate and lobby for the 4,000 delegates that at least will take me to Parliament. That is Youth League and NYC. Because I know after Youth League, NYC will vote for me. Because as a chair, how will you go to tell someone in your sub-county that I am a chairperson when you can't even buy them a book or a pen? Because you are unemployed. So, at least when we empower you people, you're going to also motivate someone to come. Yes, we are fighting unemployment, but we know it takes some time for the whole country to develop and all jobs, everyone has a job. But we start with you people who are here. The whole Amuru has trusted only you. Why wouldn't Uganda focus on only you? The government focus on only you, at least to represent and be exemplary for others. So, my brothers and sisters, Diana's Diana, if I had all the employment opportunities, I wouldn't leave Amuru today minus empowering you. But I can only do it if at least I'm there to lobby. What does it take? I at least wish if 3 of you assistant RDCs, if at least 2 teachers here have got employment, if a 1 nurse here has been employed, I will sit back and fully thank my father that I did the part that he sent me to do for. So, as Diana, I'm going to prioritize that. Then now, as they told you, I'm very, very honest. God put it at hand, I'm a believer. I serve God with one purpose. Before serving my country, the first person I serve is God. So, before coming in this whole thing, you know, people fear to talk to Northern Uganda because people have been traumatized, have been going through a lot. But I had a spirit kept telling me that these people, they are young people, and they need someone in their generation to tell them, wake up. I keep telling people that me growing up, my mother tells me, you see, your father never came through, you see, we went through that and we lost everything. But me, I didn't want to know. What I wanted was a dress and at least a book to go to school. The same thing is going to happen to you. This war happened. Glory to God, you people survived, and a few people that are surviving. And I want to assure you, in the next 10 years or 15, your daughter will tell you, okay, daddy, okay, mommy, I have heard the story of the war, but can I go to this school? what will you tell that child? What are you doing as Ibrahim to work towards that, to change that? It starts with mindset. And to me, it is now, it is this generation, it is you. It will not be the president. The president will have to find you somewhere. It might take years to be the government, and it will have to find you somewhere. When I was traversing the whole country, I found out that northern Uganda, you're the most fertile. You have all factors of production. You border 3 countries, if not 4. So that means you have free markets. That means you have the biggest land, chunks of land. When you're moving around, you see big land. That means you have labor because you people are energetic and young people. And some have even the capital, because they are very big generals in this area and sons of generals, and probably as long as you're living, that's a startup capital. So as young people, what are you going to do towards changing this whole thing? And I come to tell you that as young people, all we need is to change our minds. Diana has come here. She comes from Western Uganda. I come from Akato corridor, where only 10 cows can produce 100 liters. How do we transfer that from Western Uganda to Amuru? How do we bring it here? In that, even in your small 5 acres, at least you can put 2 cows and produce 10 liters of milk and get 30,000 every 15 days.